This is Prophet Blake, and you are listening to Worship Radio International, the world's #1 online Christian radio station.
Let's fix it with Chenauda. Sit back and relax and take some copious notes as we provide you with some awesome solutions to your financial matters. Invite your friends and family to join us. Good afternoon. My name is Chenauda Harris, and I am bringing to you Let's Fix It with Chenauda. Today I want to dedicate today's show to my father as he is celebrating his 72nd birthday. To God be the glory. So, let me tell you a little bit about me. First of all, I love God. He has been so good to me. I am a single mom of a daughter, Jasmine, and I have an awesome, supportive mate, Joe. I also have a fur baby, my little Maltese, Maceo, of 13 years. And I work full-time for the automotive industry. And I'm a proud UAW member of 19 years from a family generation of 100 years of service. Some of my hobbies include traveling, shopping, fine dining, and going to concerts. But most importantly, I'm a passionate financial consultant who offers solutions to your financial matters. Also, I'm helping other business owners seek finances for their businesses. So, over the next 45 minutes, come with me as I take you through a journey of what can assist you with some solutions for some of the financial matters that plague our community. And I think we're going to address the elephant in the room about credit as well as we go through this discussion. So, this platform was created for everyday issues surrounding finance. So today we're going to talk about some things that we really need to focus on in our community. And our goal is to empower our community with financial literacy and highlight some business people who are willing to assist you along your journey. I'll also be featuring some young entrepreneurs as we need to support our youth as they are our future. Now, bringing you some topics that is going to be most important. We're going to talk about, like I said, establishing credit, having good credit, the most important things surrounding credit. We're going to talk about putting yourself in the position for home ownership. How many of you are renting and you just don't own your home, but you have the desire to own a home? We're going to bring to you someone to discuss family wealth, life insurance, and will trust, power of attorney issues. We're going to talk about working with credit unions. We're going to talk about business credit. So for all the business owners out there, we definitely want to get you in the frame of mind of thinking what's going to be the best tools to get your business up and running properly so that you can benefit in the world of business as you so desire. So as I'm thinking about all these different things, it brings me to a scripture. All things work together for the good of those who love the Lord according to his purpose. So I definitely want to do God's mission and provide information for the purpose of his kingdom. So now let's really talk about some real important issues. Are you trying to purchase a home in 2019, but your credit doesn't meet the qualifications? Are you trying to purchase a car, but you might need a co-signer, or your credit score is just entirely too low? You might need a huge down payment to assist. Are you paying rent, or are you leasing a home? Do you have established credit but not enough to be in a category of good credit? And we're going to talk about that. Are you looking to have a fresh start and reestablish your credit? Because life situations have happened. I mean, life happens to us all. So let's definitely attack that elephant in the room. And if you've answered yes to any of these questions, I most definitely can provide a solution for you. Now, some of the things that we probably don't think about that we do need credit for. You need credit to purchase a home, to buy a car, like car insurance, especially here in the state of Michigan. Oh my God, we have some of the higher rates of car insurance rates, and depending on your demographics as to what city you live in within this state, we pay some astronomical fees in car insurance. Car insurance can be almost as high as a car payment. Cell phone bills. Everybody and their mom has a cell phone. You have to have decent credit in order to get a cell phone nowadays, to turn on your utilities. So gas, lights, they're going to run your credit. So U.S. statistics say that there's over 65 million people in the United States with a 599 credit score or lower. Nearly half Americans don't even know their credit score. Now, the average debt is over $255,000, with people having less than $500 in their savings account. Now, we definitely want to show you how to put some money back in your pocket so that you do have a savings. Nearly 50% of the people that work every day don't have a retirement fund. Less than 20% don't even have a tracker for a retirement goal. So those are sad statistics, folks, and we definitely want to change the way that we are viewing our finances. Now, this is something that most of us tend not to want to talk about, but it's so crucial that we do talk about these things. 65% of Americans don't have a will, and over 80% don't have a trust established. 70% don't even have a power of attorney in place. And all these documents are so essential in the event you become incapacitated and cannot act on your own accord. You need someone to be able to make those decisions and be able to execute your wishes the way you want them to be executed. Over 60 billion in unclaimed life insurance policies, bank accounts, pensions, stocks, and assets go unclaimed as a result. Someone's identity is also being stolen every 3 seconds. So these are things that are so important to us that a lot of times we really, really don't think about. So I'm getting ready to take you on this small journey about credit. So let's talk about some things. What is the credit score and how is it comprised? 35% of your credit score is comprised of your payment history. That means paying your bills on time. That doesn't mean paying it on a due date. If you pay your bills on that due date, that's the date that they're reporting it to the credit bureaus. So you definitely want to get in there and pay your bills 3 to 5 days at least ahead of time, if possible. And if not, learn how to strategically save your money to pay your bills prior to that date. 10% is made up of the type of credit that you have. And let me point out the difference between credit and charge. Charge cards are your Macy's, Mervin's has gone out of business, Kohl's, Kmart, Lowe's, Home Depot. Those are charge cards. Credit cards are your Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover. Those are credit cards. New credit forms 10% of your credit score. And the length of time that you've had your credit also is 15% of your credit score. 30% is the amount that's owed. So here's a tip. If you have a charge card with a limit of $1,000, it's only good to utilize 30% of that, which would be $300. So $700 needs to stay open in order to not jeopardize your credit score. Going over that utilization can impact your credit score negatively. And the object here is definitely not to impact your credit score where it is going to take points away. We definitely want to add to the credit score. So let's talk about the credit score range as to what's good and what's bad. So if you're sitting at a 520 and below, you're facing some extreme credit issues, and we definitely need to talk about some things. If you are sitting between a 520 and a 579, you have some serious issues with your credit, and you're unlikely to qualify for a loan. But we still have room to help and assist. If you're sitting at a 580 to 619, usually you do have some credit issues, but you probably need to make some minor adjustments along the way to get you a little bit higher. And if you're sitting at a 620 to 679, you might qualify for some loans. However, you're still going to have high interest rates. And the key objective is not to pay high interest rates, because you're just paying and giving away extra money when you don't really have to. And I think that's where we all tend to get caught up in it, with the higher interest rates, because we settle because we have a low credit score to begin with. And as you move up to good credit, 740 to 749, you start getting better interest rates. And definitely, if you are sitting from a 780 to 850, you qualify for the best interest rates and low down payments on your purchases. And that's where we really would like people to be. Now, a lot of people don't realize that we utilize the Fair Credit Reporting Act. You want to take a look at that, because what that does is, yes, we, the consumer, we have accumulated the debt and we owe the debt, but we have to, if you decide to have an investigation and or have credit services or repairs done to your credit, you have the right to dispute them by law. And the Fair Credit Reporting Act is the proper way to use in the dispute process. So once again, if need be, and you're in need of those types of services, we definitely need to have a conversation. Now, I just want to pause for a second, because if you're tuning in, and obviously this is the first show, I want to hear from you. So today, for those of you that decide to friend me on Facebook, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, or even send me an email, and I'm going to provide you with that contact information. For those that decide that they need to have a consultation in reference to their credit, if you reach out to me today, I will be giving each of my listeners a 3-day vacation voucher to Orlando, Florida. How exciting is that? You probably never thought that you were going to be able to get a trip and a free consultation. I like free. I'm certainly sure that many people like free. So, definitely want to have you reach out to me in reference to those services. Now, Proverbs 13:22, a good man that leaveth an inheritance to his children. Now we want to talk about will, trust, and power of attorney. We had talked about that a little bit, but let's think about this. How many times do we have a GoFundMe account because we've lost a loved one and we can't properly give them the burial that is needed, or have the monies to give them a burial, period? I mean, every day you're hearing of tragedies, of children dying, people being killed unexpectedly. I mean, people are dying left and right and don't have the proper things in place to execute a will, trust, or power of attorney. So definitely, I want to change that. I want to educate you properly on what you need to do to have these documentations in place. I mean, think about it. We have celebrities that have left us, real popular celebrities with lots of money, lots and lots of money. I mean, we just lost here in the city of Detroit an world icon, Aretha Franklin. She didn't have a will, trust, power of attorney in place, you guys. Now, all of a sudden, here in most recent days, they've gone into one of the homes and found two or three different versions of what she had started, but none of which will hold up in the court of law because they're not properly documented and notarized. So that causes chaos in the family as to who's getting what, who's doing what, especially if there's lots of money involved. Pop star Prince, he didn't have the necessary will, trust, power of attorney in place in order to execute his estate. Bob Marley and Michael Jackson are also amongst those. I mean, who wants to go? You've already lost a loved one. Let's be for real. If you've lost a loved one, the last thing you want to do in the midst of grieving is to be tied up in court and or feuding with family over money. I mean, that can be possibly the worst thing that could potentially happen to you. I mean, that goes back biblically. For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some covet it by after they have erred from their faith and pierced their sides with many sorrows. Timothy 6:10. I mean, really, it's time for us to really do some soul searching and get our documents in order. If you were to be rushed to the hospital today, one of the things that they do ask is there a will, trust? Who has the power of attorney? Who's able to make the decisions to whether to keep you alive or not, to resuscitate you? All those decisions need to be made. And who's best to make those other than yourself and have them documented properly to execute properly on your behalf in the event of your passing? And for you to give that to someone in your family that you ever so trust to follow and carry out your wishes. Now, we definitely want to talk about some things to ponder in reference to budgeting and taking care of your bills and spending your money properly, and just ways on saving and how to live. You know, we talked about how our families are suffering where we don't have $500 in our savings account, where we used to always have, you know, a little money stuffed away under the mattress, not necessarily so much in the bank. That's going back real old school. But a lot of people don't really have the necessary savings that in the event of an emergency, you can take care of your business. And that's a sad state of affairs. And we need to fix that. So whether it's learning how to take your income at the beginning of the month or your pay periods and breaking down your bills, that is so key. And then also determining that you're going to save an X amount of money to put aside for a rainy day fund. I mean, you just never know when the unexpected is going to happen and you're going to need money to get out of a situation. I mean, I'll give you a perfect example. My father has 52 years with an automotive company, and he hasn't retired. Now, the key is a lot of people don't like to retire, and he's one of them, unfortunately, because they didn't save properly. And I'm not saying that he didn't save properly, because he does have certain things in place. But all I'm saying is that when you work for a company that offers you a 401k, you definitely want to learn how to take responsibility to put aside monies for that 401k, because who wants to work for 40 years and then all of a sudden you got to go to Walmart to get a job to be the Walmart greeter because you didn't save enough money and you don't have enough money to make ends meet. We definitely want to start teaching you how to save your money. And I'm definitely going to be bringing to you some people that have different tools that show you family wealth. And that is so important, that you do have something to leave as a legacy. And I know some people are probably sitting there like, I'm going to spend my money. I'm going to do what I have to do, and I'm going to enjoy my money. But everybody doesn't have that luxury of just spending all their money. You definitely want to try to leave a legacy. If not a legacy with money, but a legacy of education, of showing the young people how to save money and utilize their money wisely. Now, I want to talk about some other programs and services that I personally can offer to you. Definitely credit monitoring. We spoke about every 3 seconds someone's identity is stolen. Oh my God. Somebody steal your purse, ladies. They've got your driver's license, your credit card, and everything else that's connected to you. And you've got to start all over again. Who wants to do that? You get yourself signed up with a credit monitoring service so that in the event they see fraudulent activity, they're going to shut that down. We definitely want to learn how to protect that, because there's so many different things that are happening. People are breaking into houses. People are carjacking people just attacking folks. So we definitely want to be vigilant about monitoring our credit and making sure we are protecting that credit. Then also with budgeting, we talked about budgeting our money and learning how to save. We definitely want to do that. Teaching about net worth. What is your net worth? Many of you probably have no idea what your net worth is, how much you are really worth in terms of what you have out there in debt. We definitely want to teach you how to build your credit. So let's just say, for instance, you are a college student, or your high school student just graduated high school and they're getting ready to go off to college. 9 times out of 10, they don't have any established credit. So we do have a secured card that we offer to help establish credit. And even if you just have a little bit of credit and don't have all the components of what is going to help build and strengthen your credit score, we definitely want to get you a secure credit card and teach you how to utilize it. And some of the key points that I spoke about earlier will help put you in the position to increase your credit score. If you are renting a home or an apartment, we can help add a positive trade line to your credit score by utilizing a program that's going to increase your credit score within 30 days of starting the program. I'm super excited about that program because it does help if you have a low score to begin with. So I am super, super impressed with the results that we are seeing from that particular program. Financial Lockbox is it's a profile, if you will, to lock and secure all of your pertinent information in reference to like your passwords and different things to your different accounts that you might have, such as your life insurance. If if you have your life insurance policy and someone goes to log into your life insurance policy, this is a place to put like your passwords and all of your secured information that people may need. You know how some people talk about how your grandmother or grandparents used to take certain things and stuff them under the mattress, or they would put them in a box, a shoe box, throw them up under the bed. Well, this takes away and alleviates all of that. It's an electronic place to put all of your pertinent information that's secured, that can be open in the event of your passing. And I know we're probably talking about some gloom and doom topics, especially when we're talking about death and passing away. But these are real issues that plague our community, folks, that we really need to talk about. We really need to have these types of conversations for numerous reasons. So I'm going to look at some of our followers here and take a few questions from our Facebook page. Okay, in the meantime, while I'm looking for that information, I will say this. I definitely want to give a quick shout out to my mentor all the way in Manassas, Virginia, Miss Afwa Jones. She's an awesome leader and has helped me tremendously with my growth and becoming the one of the best business partners and sister friends that I could potentially have to as I'm growing in what I'm doing with teaching and impacting people in the community. Definitely has been a journey for me over the last year and a half with my experience with her. So I definitely want to just say to my sister, if she's listening, thank you so much. I really appreciate your friendship and your love and support that you provide. So, as we are beginning to close out the show, once again, I want to definitely throw out the offer that I have for you today. And that's simply reach out to me on any of my social media platforms, which is Facebook, and it's simply my name, Chenauda M. Harris. And let me spell it for you. Chenauda, middle initial M, Harris. And that's my Facebook. Definitely want to friend me and book a free consultation, as well as my Instagram. My Instagram is just simply my first name, Chenauda. And if you want to email me, because you're not on Facebook and you're not on Instagram, it's let's fix it with Chenauda at gmail.com. So I definitely want to invite you all back next week on Wednesday. We will be talking about creating family wealth. And I will have a special guest here in the studios with me by the name of Marshawn Peoples. And we refer to him as the money coach. So he will be talking about various products that he has to offer and definitely educating you on family wealth. So I want to thank you all for joining us today on Let's Fix It with Chenauda, bringing you solutions to your financial matters. And once again, you can contact me at 734-752-8818 or follow me on Facebook at Chenauda M. Harris, or my Instagram is simply Chenauda. My email address, once again, is let's fix it with Chenauda at gmail.com. So Until we meet again, talk to you soon.
This is Prophet Blaine, and you are listening to Worship Radio International, the world's #1 online Christian radio station.